Great to be here in America. I just moved here. I'm Canadian. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, but I just moved here a few months ago. I looked at the current political climate, and I said, now's the time. Felt right. I just learned an interesting law. You know, up until recently, it was illegal for gay men to donate blood in America, which is not cool. That's discrimination. But they changed the law recently where gay men are now allowed to donate blood, which is great news. There's just one little caveat. Gay men can now donate blood as long as they haven't had sex in 1 year. So that's even more ridiculous. That's crazy. If you're not having sex for 1 whole year, that's a lifestyle choice I can't get behind. I have no problem getting a blood transfusion from a gay man, but I'll be damned if I have loser blood coursing through my veins. No way. I'm not gay myself. I'm a straight man. I live with my girlfriend, and she's a sweetheart. She's had to make a few adjustments because I wear hearing aids, and I'm sure you can see them, right? Got them here. Yeah, I'm sure you can. If you can't see them, get your eyes checked. You bunch of blind losers. But no, but I hate all other disabilities, and the biggest adjustment my girlfriend had to make is I take my hearing aids out when I go to sleep. So, you know, when we're lying in bed at the end of the day, there's no casual transition from talking into sleeping. You know, when I take these hearing aids out, talking time is over. Sleeping time has begun. We even have a little ritual we do now where before I take them out, I make like a last call. I'm like, hey, baby, you got any final thoughts on the day? Any closing remarks? Because I'm about to shut this shit down. It's not all fun and games, though. She said something to me recently that shook me, you know, rocked me to my very core. She said, when we go to sleep at night, when you take out your hearing aids, I feel alone. I feel very alone. And I was like, whoa, alone? Baby, no, you're not alone. Remember that. I'm right there beside you. And if anything happens in the middle of the night, anything at all, I need you to save me. You're not alone. Don't ever forget that. I need you so bad. In fact, I'm going to need you to start sleeping with your contacts in, please. We're very vulnerable right now. I take out my hearing aids, you take out your contacts, you know. As a unit, we've gone full Helen Keller. I don't hear whispering at all, even with my hearing aids in. Whenever somebody whispers to me, I'm like, if this is a secret, you can rest assured. Very, very safe. Stays with us. Mainly with you. It's the worst. I'm missing out on all the good stuff, right? The juicy, salacious details. Nobody's ever whispering small talk. Nobody's ever like, it's a really beautiful day out there. Why are you whispering that? No, it's always the good stuff, and I'm missing out. But I can hear the first level of whispering. You know, when somebody's kind of whispering, but there's still some volume. I can hear that. But every level after that, when it gets lower and juicier, I don't hear. So I just respond to the first part that I heard, and I end up looking like a moron. You know, like my friend came up to me, and she was like, I was in Bermuda last week, and I cheated on my husband with 2 guys at the same time. And I was like, I have always wanted to go to Bermuda.